was trying to make my first video about comparison between Capcom's current run and Rockstar in the early 2000s. But I was struggling to put everything on paper and I couldn't focus on the topic at hand because this is obviously one of my first attempts at coming back into YouTube. And I am so farther behind than I thought I was or where I should be for a number of reasons. But I guess the number one thing I can say is that nobody never believe that you are smarter than the circumstances you're in, that you will just figure it out, that you will arrive at a solution when you need to, not when you actually prepared for it and would be deserving of it. Um, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like it's hard for me to want to make my first piece of content based on like a silly little passion when I know that I'm facing these like very substantial like navigating life issues. I can't speak as clearly as I wanted to in the past. I have no money. I'm supported by my family at 27. I've been through the whole doomer mindset of Gen Z's cooked, or my generation's just never gonna have any money, and you might as well just splurge and make yourself happy because the world's ending. And I don't know. I guess over the past few days, I've been really inspired to make some content or just do something because for the past few months, I've just been doing nothing. I gave up. I guess I just gave up. And I've worked. It's not like I don't think I'm lazy. I worked jobs substantially in and out since I was 15 years old. My first job, I got promoted all the way to general manager at a Chipotle. That might be the best job I've ever had, and it was all downhill from there. But I just feel like I can't find my footing, and it's so much easier to find a reason to stop doing something than it is to just do it. So over these past few days, I've kind of adopted this to be cringe is to be free mindset. And I'm just going to put things out there. They might be janky. They might be indicative of, how jittery I am or how bad my mental health is or how I can't think as clearly or I can't, you know, make a video that is captivating enough that, I don't know. I don't know. So many layers of just doubts and what ifs just constantly going off at the same time in my head that even when I'm focused and I can ground myself back to trying to get things back on track and do things in that day, it just takes only a few seconds of very powerful but logical negative thoughts to just throw that all away. And I don't know. I've wanted to believe my whole life that I've been this like smart, intelligent, independent guy who can just figure things out, has the solution, doesn't worry too much. But I am a tweaker, bro. I have been a tweaker since I was a kid. I was a severe alcoholic before I was even 21 and had to go into rehab two separate times just because I don't know. I was such a manic and anxious guy that, and my controller disconnected right here, and it's pretty freaking awkward. I got a very cheap cord that's not really holding up so well. So, anyways, I kept just see, and this is what I'm talking about. I'm just losing my train of thought, but I'm not going to stop recording. I'm not going to give up and just shut my brain down into a low power mode and start consuming and chase easy sources of dopamine. I am going to focus on the idea that I said I was going to make a YouTube video today. So I'm going to freaking make one, dude. I'm just putting thoughts to page. Recorded some Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries gameplay. I think this is gonna be my little thing. I've gotten way back into like classic COD commentary again. I see a lot of people rocking the classic Xbox 360 profile pictures, just uploading some Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, talking about some goddamn real shit. And, you know, 7 years of justifying a sedentary and just miserable lifestyle, all because I spent too much time on the internet and I freaked myself out too much. I I don't know. I think it's time to slow down, but also speed up and just put more out than I take from the world. I watched reels from my screen time a few months ago was 13 hours in a day. 13 hours, man. And I was able to justify that behavior to myself. Like it horrifies me now. And when you start really overanalyzing it, it just gives you even more reasons to like want to stop focusing on it and give up and go back to those cheap free dopamine hits that make you feel comfortable. But I said I was going to make a YouTube video today instead of just mindlessly creating, so I'm making this YouTube video today. And I can only hope that by the end of this roughly 10 minutes, it is cohesive enough to be watchable and there is something to be gathered and I can maybe engage with some people about where they might be at in life and how we're all navigating this big scary 2026. I mean, if you want to take a step back and just think about the basics, I have a roof over my head, uh, food in my belly, family that cares about me enough to set me up in not only somewhere that I'm not homeless but comfortable. Uh, I'm I'm extremely thankful, but at the same time, because I have all of that to be thankful for, it's like it gives me even more reasons to feel bad. Like you have all of these advantages, all of these reasons to be succeeding, and you're still playing the victim, still making excuses for why it's okay to waste time and be unproductive and sink into nasty habits. I genuinely want to make an effort to be better. And, growing up with the internet, born in 98, pretty much seen most of it from start to finish. I guess. I don't know, not start to finish, but you know what I mean, from real prime to where it is now. Um, I could definitely see the damage it's taken on me and how, with just a little bit of like base intelligence as a kid, I let myself get so hard headed and full of myself. None of this was actually affecting me, and I was immune to all the negatives, and I could just consume without getting any of the bad. And you would have thought I realized that when I kicked alcohol 2 years ago, but I just swapped it for weed and let myself make unhealthy after unhealthy after unhealthy decision. But here we are today. Hopefully, gonna try something different, try something new, put this out there. I don't even care if nobody watches it because I believe in myself to make another one before this time next week. Um, I guess this last little portion is going to be me bullying myself to make sure I actually do it. Yo, Obama's, you got to get this shit rocking, bud. There is no time like the present. Onwards and upwards. Buzzword, buzzword, buzzword. I, I really, I'm ready to start. Let's get it rolling. Let's do a better Mercenaries run next time. And I appreciate anybody that watched. Take care.